Hello, my friends. Hello, hello. I am trying to stream live today for the first time to Instagram. So we'll see if it works. Okay. And, of course, StreamYard says that, they don't want you to have a lot of backgrounds, other tabs open, because that helps with buffering too. So hopefully we'll just have everything cooperate today. We shall see. So welcome to episode 67 of Living Well Today. I'm Angela Moonen, and I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're here with me live today, I'm live every week at noon Eastern, or whether you are watching this on replay, you are welcome here. So today's topic is love grows here, and you will always find love in this space, and you are always welcome here. And you can watch any of these replays on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and you can reach out to me via my website at angelamoonen.com. So I am a corporate storyteller. I work with clients in improving their narratives, their story, the words they choose, how they tell their stories inside, which is what we're talking about today, inside job, and how they share those stories with the world, with their communities, their patients, their donors, their stakeholders. So when we talk about love grows here, I'm hoping that you can use this time, these next 25 minutes or so, to really feel it, to be here with me right now. And before we begin, let's just kind of take a nice collective easing breath, a nice deep breath in and out. Yeah. Because today we're talking about something we all desire: love, joy, happiness, and those feelings that can make life rich and meaningful. And yet so often we believe that those things exist outside of us, that they're somewhere out there, and they're just beyond our grasp. And I have felt that way, and I feel that way at times about things until I remember. And we tell ourselves that I'll feel fulfilled when something happens, when I get that promotion, when I'll be happier, when I find that right partner. I'll finally feel at peace when life just settles down and I have more clarity. But when we reach those things, when we get that promotion, when we find that partner, when we are in a new home, or whatever it might be, it's like a mirage. We maybe feel that peace or joy or satisfaction for a moment or two, or a week or 2 months, whatever it might be. But when the excitement and the dust settles and it fades, we're left searching again. Now, part of that is our continuum of creation. We are creating beings. We are here to create and expand. So while part of that is natural of, okay, now what do I get to create? The other side of that coin is this feeling of searching, emptiness again. Like our cup was just emptied and now we feel dissatisfied, longing, searching. And that's because love and joy and happiness doesn't live out there. They live here. They grow here inside of us. So today, we're going to explore how to stop chasing happiness and start creating it right where we are, because love grows. here. It's an inside job, you see. I want to start with a question. Have you ever worked really hard for something? Maybe a big career goal, a new home, a new relationship, thinking, once I have this, I'll feel complete. It's part of the human condition. And then you got it. And while it felt good for a moment, that deep, lasting fulfillment that you were expecting didn't quite arrive. So let me share a quick story. Years ago, I thought, when I move to the sunshine, everything will be perfect. When I move from New York to Florida, and I'll be in the blue skies, and everything will be perfect. And while part of that is true, meaning that sunshine is a vital part of, for me, and really I think for most, it's the sun, it's our fuel, it's our energy, a life source for us. Without sunshine, we don't survive. Nothing does. So there's an aspect of that for me that I did bloom, I did thrive, I did, but it wasn't the silver bullet. It didn't complete me. It created a condition that was more favorable for me, but then I had to still show up and realize those blue skies inside of me. Because dark days happen, hurricanes happen. It gets cold and gloomy. It is today here. It's really stormy here today. So inside in my cocoon, I have to create that light and to have to build that muscle and understanding that we are our own gardeners. This was my word of the week this week. We're charged with cultivating and unearthing, really, truthfully, unearthing what is already there, which is our light, which is our love. Light is love, love is light. So things feel exciting at first, and excitement fades. And what remains can feel this quiet emptiness. Because when you move from one state to another, nothing inside you changes until you make a decision to do that. So the things we strive for can enhance our lives. They can, certainly. A more beautiful garden, a new comfortable car, meeting someone that you can share your love and interests with. Yes, that can enhance your life, but it doesn't complete you. It never does. Because happiness isn't something we find. It's something we generate. I love this quote from the Dalai Lama. He says, I'm going to read it here. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Let that sink in for a moment. Happiness is not something ready-made. You can't go buy it in a store. You can't bake it in the oven. You can't find it in a restaurant or in another person. It comes from us. We don't experience love outside of ourselves. It's something we bring into a relationship. We bring into our work. We bring into our daily moments. Love and joy aren't waiting for us at the next milestone. Maybe there's beauty there. Maybe there's laughter. But those things can fade. What doesn't fade is what is always available to us right now, where we are, in this very moment. We have to choose that for ourselves. We have to make a conscious, intentional choice to realize that it's here and not out there. How do you do that? Well, one of the most powerful shifts we can make is in moving from goal setting to intention setting. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I want to share a quick story for you. I shared this with my daughter this morning because it broke my heart. It broke my heart, but it didn't break my spirit. And I decided to then go to the Alchemy Living Well Today goodie bag to determine my topic today and how I would weave that experience I had this morning before my eyes into today's show. So let me share with you. I was watching out the window and I was compelled to say something. I know my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, I know my mother-in-law would have said something. She was famous for walking up to people in a grocery store and expressing her opinion right there on the spot. But the window I was standing behind didn't open. Those windows don't open. And they were at a distance anyway. So I'm just getting ready this morning. And I caught out of the corner of my eye through the window this mom and little boy walking to their car. And it's very windy. We have wind advisories today until 7 o'clock tonight. And very windy today and rainy. And he's got his umbrella. Little boy, maybe 3 years old. I don't think he was 4. Maybe he was 4. And it's so windy, and he's dragging this. It's a little kid's umbrella, so it wasn't too big, but still, umbrellas can be awkward for adults, right? And they're certainly awkward when it's really windy. So he's walking, and the wind is whipping his umbrella around. And I see this all unfold. He starts to realize it feels like the experience you have when you have a kite, when you're flying a kite. And you can see him start to dance and play. Instead of fight the umbrella, he started to dance and play with it and have fun. And he's skipping along. His mother's, she's walking in front of him, dragging him along. She's completely oblivious to this whole thing. And I'm sure she's got to get somewhere. She's probably on a timeline. It was early in the morning, probably had to get him to school, pre-K, whatever it was, sitters, whatever, right? And she's probably got 1,000 things on her mind, totally oblivious to the joy that her 3-year-old is creating in the chaos of it all. And he's skipping along. And you can tell he's going like this. You can tell he's like feeling what it feels like when he flies a kite. And I am just witness to this. He doesn't even know. And I'm giggling. I was giggling watching the present moment, love and joy that was happening for that little boy. And the wind got hold of his umbrella. And all of a sudden, the umbrella is traveling. Have you ever had that happen? The umbrella is traveling across and he can't get it because he's got his mom's hand. She's got a hold of him. And suddenly, and he's like, he must have made some noise or something, like, it's gone. And she turns to him and sees that he's lost the umbrella and picks him up and whack, whack, whack on both his hands. Like, you bad boy for losing the umbrella. You bad, bad boy. I mean, she hit him pretty hard. Whacked him hard on both hands. Boom, 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 his little hands. And then threw him in the car. Threw him into his car seat. Now, I'm not condemning, I'm not judging that woman. As I said, she likely had a lot of things going on and she didn't see what had happened, and he lost his umbrella, and now she's got to try and run after it. She's probably on a timeline. I get it. I've been there. I've been triggered before as a young mom. I immediately texted my daughter, by the way, after I saw this, and asked for her forgiveness for any time that I stole her light unknowingly, unconsciously, stupidly stole her light. Because that's what that mom did. I don't know if that little boy will ever play with an umbrella again. And then I'm reminded, and I shared this with McKenna, I am then reminded after I immediately broke it. I went, I mean, like it caught my breath when I saw her hit him. I didn't see that coming. I'm sure he didn't see that coming. But I am reminded that each of us are put into circumstances. Every circumstance is by design, even the harsh ones, to teach us something about who we are and what we're capable of and what others are not capable of sometimes. Sometimes they're put there to teach us forgiveness so we can learn how to forgive. And so I settle into that notion about that little boy today. And love grows here. It grows here where we are. Understanding does too, as does forgiveness. Empathy. Trying to imagine, we don't know how many times that mom's hands were slapped when she was a kid. We don't know. What I do know is that as an adult, it is our call, it is our responsibility to grow up, to realize that we are the gardener. We are accountable and responsible for cultivating something better than maybe we were given as a kid. Those things don't exist anymore. They're memory, which is just energy. We get to decide to do it better, to do it with more beauty and grace and ease and love. Love grows here. So let's do a quick exercise together. If you have a notebook, great, grab it. I always, I have my iPad. I always have my notepad right here. For a thought, a notion. That's how I create the goodie bag. I write little observations, thoughts. Oh, and just like that, when I just said that, love grows here. The sun has come out, has peeked through, even if just for a minute. If not, just think about this in your mind. If you don't have your notepad, think about a goal you've been working toward. Maybe it's getting in shape, losing 10 pounds, advancing your career, getting a new job, finding the right relationship, buying a new car, whatever the goal might be. Going to church on Sunday, or going to church in your own heart, whatever the goal is. Shift the goal into an intention, something that is present moment focused rather than future focused. Instead of saying, I want to lose 10 pounds, which I do, say, I intend to nourish and care for my body today and every day. Instead of, I want to find love, try, I intend to show up fully in everything I do. I intend to be love today. Instead of, I want to be successful with this project, with this job, with my life, with my money, try, I will bring myself fully into every interaction. I will cultivate my talents. I will be mindful of the joy I can create in the moments that I share today with people. So, do you feel the difference? Such a vast difference. Goals have their place. They do give us milestones, but it's easier to get to the goal and then to really enjoy fully, deeply, immensely, immersively the goal forever and ever, whatever that goal creates. We can enjoy it more deeply and more expansively if along the way we are living in that feeling of appreciation, in that intention. So the more we anchor ourselves in intention, our way of being today, the more we realize love, joy, fulfillment, that they're already growing right here where we are. They're already ours to have, you see. Bloom where you are planted. Have you ever seen a flower growing in an unexpected place? You know, through a sidewalk crack, or one single vine growing out of the concrete wall up the wall? That's what we're doing. A tiny bloom breaking through the crack of what would otherwise be there. It's what we're meant to do. We're meant to bloom where we are planted, and not to wait for perfect conditions, which will never be out there. We create the perfect condition inside of ourselves, and then the sun comes out. It's not about waiting for the right job or the right partner or the right moment. My challenge or my offer, not challenge, my offer to you this week. The words we choose matter. That feels better. My offer to you this week is, instead of waiting for joy, create it. Instead of searching for love, be it. Show up with it in every interaction. Instead of chasing happiness, grow it. Grow it. Smile, even if you don't feel like smiling. The mere smiling, the muscles, everything lifting when you smile sends a signal to your brain, which then releases serotonin. So smiling creates happier feelings inside of you. You can't smile and be super sad at the same time for very long. So the life the life you're looking for, the life you're longing for, the life you're searching for, it isn't out there, friends. It's not somewhere out there. It's inside of you, waiting for you, calling to you, wanting you to nurture it. Thank you we're at 12:24. All right, perfect. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. Work toward being, if you can, more mindful of the impact that your actions have on others. The slapping of the hands, the slamming of the door, the impatience in the grocery line, sending back your food order, or whatever it might be. Thinking of the impact that you have on the other people. And is it okay for you to just be uncomfortable for a little bit? Have some discomfort. Take that into yourself and transmute it into patience and love, rather than excavate or extricate it on, I don't even know if that's the word, extricate, rather than place it on someone else. If this resonated with you, if this conversation opened something up inside of you in some way, please share it with others. Replay it. Likely, I know when I go back and watch some of my things for sure, because I always say these are lessons for me first. And then in my hopes, by doing them and sharing these lessons with you publicly, that in some way, somehow, they help others that are in the journey, in the same similar place that I am, learning, wanting to better understand, wanting to become more and more of an adult who loves and listens and leans in with curiosity and empathy and patience and understanding. You know, by sharing this, it keeps the conversation going. It keeps the energy going. Yeah. And if you want more ways to cultivate and bring love and joy into your everyday life, into your workplace, if you own a company and you want to say, how can I bring more levity and more teamwork and togetherness into the places that matter so much to people, where they create financial wherewithal for them and their family, where they have impact on your customers, on your patients, if you're in healthcare. Check out some of the shows and the words of the week and the things that I do around narrative and why words matter and healing medicine. I placed an article I wrote last week on LinkedIn about narrative medicine, the power of healing, and the healing words that you choose when you give a prognosis. You know, don't just slap a diagnosis on someone, please. Don't just make a prognosis and say, you know, rather than saying, you know, well, you have 3 months to live, get your affairs in order. Oy, do you know how many people have transmuted those odds and grown beyond those odds? Don't give them that handicap. Say, well, you know, you can create a quality of life by doing this. And there are many possibilities for XYZ. Talk about possibility, not about endings. It makes all the difference in the world, because the brain and the body have the power to heal anything. 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 So I'll see you next Wednesday for another episode 68 of Living Well Today. And until then, remember that love grows here. And you, the gardener. Much love to you. Be kind to one another, and know that the words and the actions you have don't just impact you, but everyone around you. Much love to you, friends.